Hi everybody, it's Christina and thank you for joining me today. So today I'm going to be using some old and some new dies and putting them together to make a really quick and easy card. We're going to need some inks to blend with and probably brushes or sponges, but we often buy dies, use them, put them away and forget about them. So now it's time to get them out and use them again. So for this video I'm going to be using the new circular sentiments. This is from the A6 collection. We're going to be using the Festive frames, and this is the Bell Filigree, and all I'm using are the flowers and the leaves. Then I'm going to be using the offset background from the Clever Cuts collection. I'm going to be using the nesting dies in the hexagon shape, and I'm going to be using this Diamonds and Dots embossing folder. But I've also found on my desk a pre-cut, an old die cut background, and this is from the A5 collection, but you can use any one that you've got or you can completely leave it out. So let's get busy and start this card. Now we will be using these dies to cut this background out, and if you look, one gives you thin centres there, the other one gives you wider ones. So I'm going to use this one with this die to cut it out, and I need to make sure that my card is big enough to take those two dies. So this is the piece of card that we're going to work on. These are the colours that we're using. You can use your favourite colours, you can use any inks that you've got, you can use any blending brushes that you've got. You're not looking for a really smooth ultra fine blend, it doesn't really matter. You just need to get these inks down onto your card. Now is you're going to take all the loose ones out of the die and you're going to turn them around and you're going to slot them back into place in there. So you're not taking the actual die cut, just the strips that are in the centre. So you're going to turn that around and put that in there. And there's the next one. Now if your tape's a little bit sticky, it may take some of the back off, but it doesn't really matter, like this, because you won't see it once it's done anyway. So we'll pop that back in there, and we're going to work our way down the sheet so we've got all of them switched around. The card at this stage, you can stencil it, you can stamp it, you can simply spritz it if that's what you want to do. So we'll just add a little bit of water to ours, to this one, leave it to settle for a second or two, and then mop it up with the clean cloth. And that's the look that we've got there. And that's why I said it doesn't matter if your card is blotchy, because once this has happened you won't be able to see it. Now you will need to leave that to dry, and then you're going to take the largest of your octagon dies and you're going to place it in there and cut that out. And then this is what you will have once you've done that. Then using the next stitched one down, so I've left the plain one, I've taken the stitched one, I've fastened these two together and I have cut it 3 times, and that's going to give me a frame that will sit around my octagon shape. So once I've done that, I can't get them all together. But anyway, that's what it will look like. So we'll go away and we'll cut this one in place now, and then I'll come back to you when I've done that. So I've cut that out with the largest die. I'm going to take that off the card, and then with this one what I've also done is cut another piece out with the same die, or with the smaller die. With the next one down I've cut another piece out and I've glued that to the back, and that will just keep everything in place. And then to that I've added my foam pads. Now for this one I've used the shape a different way, the die a different way round. But I can still do the same. I can add my frames and then I can add it to my card either at an angle, that way round, any way round I want I can use that. But that's my piece now ready to use. So by adding this piece to the back it just ensures that all your strips stay in place, and then you can add that anywhere you want to your card. So there's my frames to go on the top. I'll cut some more for this one, and that can sit there. So there's my 2 panels, and there's my frame added to just one of them, and this is the one that I'm going to use on my card. And I'm going to use it so that it's at an angle. So we'll use it that way. Now this is my base card. This is a 6-inch square, and I'm going to keep the fold at the top. I've cut myself a smaller panel and I have just embossed that through this folder. And then I've taken the other piece that I found on my desk and I'm going to add this to my card. And this is the trellis background from the A5 collection. So I'm just going to add some glue to this and just fix it to my card. So for the other panel I've added a stencil to the top and I've lightly gone over it with some blueprint sketch. So that's one of my stripy panels and that's the other. So I've got my background done there, and this one is going to sit on the card this way. Now for this one I've got another card base with the fold at the top, and I've created mats that will sit on this. I've embossed that in a folder, and this one is going to sit on there. So from the circular sentiment set I have stamped the sentiments. I've added them to some background that's the same as this, which is just an offcut, and they're going to sit on the card there. Now from this die set I have cut the flowers just in white, and I'm going to stack them together, and they're going to be added to this card. And then from this one I've taken this large leaf section and I've cut it 3 times in white, and I'm going to glue those together, and they're going to sit on the front of my card all stacked together nice and neatly. And they're going to sit on the front of my card along there with the sentiment in the middle. So we'll just add a little bit of shape into these flower petals, and we'll glue them all together, and that's going to sit on the front of my card along there. Underneath I'm going to add in the leaves along there, put them all in the centre, and as I say I'm going to stack those leaves and add those under the sentiment on this card. And so to finish off these 2 cards I've added some sequins into this one, and I've put a little bit of bling into the centre of the flower. So there are my 2 cards with their stripy backgrounds. Very easy to do. One is a smaller version of a 5x7 and this is a 6-inch square. Both have the folds at the top. So the items that I've used are the circular sentiments. I've used the offset backgrounds to create the stripes in the inking. I've used the leaves and the florals from this set, and I've used the hexagons to produce the pattern on the front. One has got frames added to it, the other one hasn't. I've used the leaves from the Rose Flourish, and I've used these two embossing folders on both, on each one of the cards. Now the only thing I haven't added in is the background to this, and this is just a piece that I had left on my desk, and that is from the background to the A5 card and box set. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me on the next one, and please subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, then you'll always be aware when I add a new video. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.